Welcome back, everyone. Today we talk about control flow, and as always, let's define this term. Control flow is defined as being the order in which statements occur. Often this is resembled with flowcharts, which you've probably seen before. Although if you haven't, my cat and I have constructed this one for demonstration purposes. So this is basically supposed to be the life of a cat. The cat wakes up, asks is anything on the table. If there is, it knocks it off. If there's not, it goes back to sleep. And that's the basic gist of it. It's a simple flowchart that just kind of shows the exact trend in which something's going based upon conditions of its surroundings. So let's move to an example. A programmer has a name, age, and a base income. If the programmer takes Java Basics lessons available on Tutoring.com, then the programmer's base income will increase by $20K a year. Also, if the programmer is over the age of 64, they can collect their 401k, but only if they have one, increasing their yearly income by another $10K. So to start, we want to focus on a specific portion of this. We're going to look at the beginning portion where it says, a programmer has a name, age, and a base income. And we're going to use our last lesson to create some variables to represent these ideas. To start programming this, we're going to create first a string for the name, and we're going to set that equal to Billy for now. And then we're going to make an integer for Billy's age and set him equal to 24. And a double for the base programming income and set that equal to 30K. And then next we're going to need two booleans. We're going to need a boolean for if they have a 401k, and for now we're going to set that equal to true. And also we're going to have one for if they've taken the Java Basics tutorials. And we're again going to set that equal to true. So now we revisit our example here. And we notice that we have totally cleared out the first part where we're trying to represent a programmer and we're representing them entirely through variables. The next part we want to worry about is the second part where it says if the programmer takes the Java Basics lesson on Tutoring.com, then the programmer's base income will increase by $20K a year. Now we want to create a flowchart to represent this. So to start, we want to say that the base income is 30K. And then moving on, we want to ask, have they taken the Java Basics course? If they have, then we increase it, and if they don't, we don't increase it. Now we want to ask ourselves, how do we represent this in code? In code, we use what is called an if-else statement. We say if a condition is true, then we run a certain amount of code in between two curly brackets. And then else, in between two curly brackets, we run a different segment of code. Now the else portion of this isn't actually mandatory to say inside of Java. So in the code that you're about to write, we're going to actually ignore the else and we're just going to write about the if statement. The first if statement we have to make is about has taken Java Basics. So the first thing we type is has taken Java Basics equals true, comparing to see if the value of has taken Java Basics equals true or not. So if that statement itself is true, then we go inside the curly brackets where we say base income equals base income plus 20K. Revisiting our question, we have one last part to get through. Also, if the programmer is over the age of 64, they can collect their 401k, but only if they have one, increasing their yearly income by another 10K. Moving back to our flowchart from before, we see that both of our outcomes from last time move into this one new question, if they have a 401k. Then if they do have a 401k, we ask if they're 64 years old. And if they are, then we increase their income, and in any other scenario, we're done with the problem. So let's see what this looks like in code. We begin by checking if they have a 401k. So we say if has 401k equals true. Then we have another check to do, so we say if the age is over 64, and then we can increment their base income. So base income equals base income plus 10K. Now that we have all that, we just want to print out what the base income was. So we'll do a fancier little print here by saying their name followed by their age and how much they make. So now if we run this code, we'll see that if he's 24 and he has taken Java Basics, that he makes 50K. Now if we change his 401k to be false, but don't change his age, we'll see that our output stays the same. Now if we change his has taken Java Basics to be false, we'll see that his base income has decreased. And if we increase his age without changing his 401k, we'll see that it doesn't change. And if we change his 401k to be true, now that he's over 65, he'll get that extra 10k. Let's briefly talk about ands and ors with if statements. If we have a statement where there's two conditions that have to be met, we can use an and, which is resembled with a double ampersand sign inside of Java. Alternatively, if we have an or statement, we can do the same thing with double bars. A lot of this can be broken down into basic logic. And if you want to make your code look cleaner, as well as run a lot smoother, you can refer over to our new logic series. Looking back at our code, we see this part right here has two if statements, one inside of another. We can take this and turn it into an and. So we'll cut that code and put double ampersand and then remove the extra curly bracket. We'll see now that this code runs the exact same. That concludes this lesson in Java Basics. Now we've talked about control flow, allowing us to make larger scale programs with this new tool. If you found this content to be helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for our latest content.